playing Frostpunk. Hello, and welcome back to another Frostpunk video. So today is going to be a little bit different. Today we're going to be talking about the, well, I wouldn't say it's even different. We're going to be talking about city management. The game is currently saving. Just wait a moment. Uh, we should be back in. Uh, anyways, the game is taking its time to save. So this is an extremely advanced development situation on both the Frostland and the city itself. If you hear any crackling or weird sounds or anything like that, it's because the game seems to be having some audio issues that I have not yet fully worked out. Anyways, so as you can see, this is a colony. If you've played the game or if you haven't, right now what you're looking at is a colony, and it is a oil colony based upon the structures you can see within the settlement itself. So let us go further and take a look at the larger and wider Frostland. As I said earlier, this is a more advanced version of the Frostland with various outposts, stations, and hubs. This particular version, or this particular city, is having a bit of a challenge. The issue is squalor. So a new structure has been provided. Looking for it currently. Sort of heating hub. Still not seeing it. Has it been? Has research finishing this? Okay, that is it. And research should be done. Okay. So a new building should be available. Call maintenance hub. So what's the purpose of the maintenance hub? As I had said earlier, I'm actually going to turn the audio off completely, as it's not flowing in the way it should. Not sure why, but I have all the requisite requirements to play this game on the highest settings. However, there are still some issues with the audio. That's the only issue I'm currently having with the game. Okay. Macon's talking about how to play Frostpunk. I'm sorry about the babbling earlier. As I said, this is an extremely advanced city. No matter what difficulty you play the game on, there are still going to be a lot of sections of it that are very challenging. Right? So the first thing we're going to address right now is the squalor situation with squalor. So based upon the type of machinery that you're using within the city and policies that you sign, as you can see here, it creates significant squalor. And so in dealing with that, I have decided to research and install maintenance hubs. Signing these laws. The laws in this game, as I had said in a previous video, are voted on by the council. As you can see here, this law was rejected. For a much more balanced experience as it relates to dealing with the council and factions, I would recommend trying to have a balanced take on development of faction influence. Why I say this is to decrease the chances of there being any form of any faction gaining too much power. And if a faction gains too much power, that may pose a problem in in essence, what you may be looking at is a situation where that faction abuses the power they have. And in them abusing the power they have, you could see a situation occurring where they force you to sign particular laws that you are not interested in signing. And so that, as I like to put it, complicates the situation. As it relates to providing the different outposts with resources, and I'd say not just resources, but also food and anything else that they may require. I would also advise providing these areas with as much support as possible to aid in their development. These outposts allow you to provide the main city with essential resources, but also in providing the main city with these resources. Whatever. With providing the main cities with resources, you also have to deal with the aspect of food, and I wouldn't even look at it from the perspective of, let me see, if I had expanded the district. I don't think I did, but I'm going to right now. As I realize that there is a food problem going on here, and I may have to deal with diseases. Food and heat are two of the main things you have to look out for. The cold is an ongoing thing. Shit. I didn't realize that the whiteout is coming. I know better than that, you know. Anyways, going back to that. So those things are stuff that you have to really consider. Let's see. Unlimited. Okay, so I'm gonna put this here, and then when I put that there, I'm gonna remove this. Yes, I'm gonna take that out, and I'm going to put that building. Where is it? I saw it in a while. There's a spot that I could put it in. Oh, right. Um, keep forgetting that the area that this, yeah, so I'll put the district over there, and there's also additional housing. So for me, from my experience, I've just been going around and adding in as much that is necessary to keep the area running. Okay, so unlimited resources, deep fertile soil remaining, whatever, and then after I do that, no, after putting in that particular deep resource extraction facility, I will then put in something else to facilitate it. It's the same thing over here that I would apply the same procedures, and then probably I'll build an advanced facility. Because believe it or not, the main city, what my objective for in this playthrough is to limit the amount of, I'm not really going to deal with smaller. Let me check and see. Outsiders increases it, so alright. Gonna go into the society at the moment and see what I can do. I don't really want to mess with that. It's stuff that I don't really want to mess with. Um, so Squalor is a big issue for me right now. And it is posing a lot of problems for the city. But for me, it's whether or not I have any actual interest in solving the matter. Most likely, I won't actually solve it. I mean, yeah. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but I don't really have much of an interest, or I don't have an incentive to actually solve it. However, as it relates to crime and the rehabilitation program, it's something I'm looking at dealing with. And so by doing that now, hmm, I can then make a lot of changes as it relates to the running of the city and anything else that may be going on within that particular area. Oh, sorry for babbling. Some of the things that I would say you need to consider when building or designing any city is where you're going to put the districts. For me, we'll pause this here and show you the residential district is basically surrounding the area of the generator. Over this side is food production. Far out here, it could be one out of two things. Geothermal energy. I think yes, this is the geothermal energy district. Yes, it is. Right. This is geothermal energy district over here. If you go back out further, I'm going to look here. This is the production district, and there's a small extraction district here. Over here now, we're looking at the oil production area, and this is the coal production area. Over here is the logistics support district, and there's another logistics support district here. What you can also do in the other outpost colonies as well is you can set up logistic districts as well out here. As you can see, there's one right here. And you can redivert outpost activities to provide specific areas with resources. Now, due to the fact that this area is essential for me, I will improve the heating here so that this is a permanent fixture for that particular colony to keep them supplied with heat or fuel to provide heat. The fuel colony over here it's basically just developing and providing it with the necessary food it would need to survive. But there's still the issue, I would say right now, the issue of whether or not it will be able to survive the great storm itself. Wasn't the great, oh God, I haven't even realized. Sorry guys, again, I am not worried too much about it. But what I can tell you right now is that the great storm, or the whiteout as they call it, has started, if not probably passed, as it approaches the edges of the colony. It's the storm itself slowly edging its way in. And what I also find intriguing is that you're also able to see all the other areas and settlements that you have control over. And these are all outposts and trading stations. So I'm going back to the main city here to look at what is currently the main issue. So this district is about to see the end of its lifespan. Locked in, this is the amount that is available, and the excess is the amount that is currently not being dealt with. For me now, let's see. What's this here? No access. Is it a true? Alright, so to deal with this, this is weird. No access to resource deposit. Okay, so the resource deposit there. What the hell is it? Oh, oh yes. That is the icon kind of got me because I didn't remember what it was. But I am 100% aware of what it actually is. So, in light of the current situations that I'm experiencing, I am contemplating doing one out of two things. Adding additional networks as it relates to the supply of goods, or in the worst case scenario, looking elsewhere to provide the materials necessary for production and development. But as it stands, I should be able to maintain a decent level of control over what occurs within the city. And I'll be building more maintenance hubs around the city to prevent any other issues from occurring. Or it is going to keep happening, though, so not worry too hard about that. I was wondering what these big spaces were for, but now I'm starting to realize there's so I can add in maintenance hubs within the central area. So now, let me double check something before I mention anything about that. Okay. So the Great Storm will hit the main city, or the whiteout will hit the main city. When whiteouts occur, they remove access to all outposts that have not been fully upgraded. So if an outpost is fully upgraded and is able to perform services even when the whiteout actually has covered the area. Now, this is what it looks like when the whiteout comes in. It hasn't actually reached the main city as yet. The outposts will soon become inactive. Right? So this outpost area has just been shut down. This one is not active. So this coal mine here has been upgraded to prevent it from shutting down. And the reason being is that this particular coal mine provides this colony with the resources it needs to continue functioning. So in the event that the city itself is cut off, like in this particular scenario, the coal mine will still be active and will still provide the requisite resources that this particular area needs. Now, the storm itself has started to make its way closer towards the main city. But if we look on this establishment, even during harsh storm conditions, this particular outpost or settlement is still functional, thus preventing this settlement over here from experiencing a situation where it's unable to meet its needs. The White House also will not affect the trade routes which have been established in such order. The city itself still has not experienced a whiteout, but oh, look, I've actually missed the provision of a law. Oh, so this is something I'm interested in. So like how I'm interested in this law, I will go with the machinist, provide them with that, exploration time decrease, and so I look for something that would basically work in my favor. The objective of this is to reduce the amount of people that are required to work within the outpost, at the same time providing criminals with a way to redeem themselves. So it's like being banished for a while and coming back to the main city after some time. So now I have to establish a fuel colony and a materials colony. There's things that I'm working on in the background that I will eventually accomplish. Now back to looking at the storm and what it is doing to the frostlands and areas that have been covered. Let's see, this is the food colony. As you can see, even though the food colony is covered by the storm, the roadway is still active and is still receiving the resources necessary to function. Now the storm has fully engulfed the city. If you go in here, you will see the storm on the edge of the city as it starts to climb over and take over the area, which would induce harsh conditions and lower temperatures. It says that the temperatures are going to fall to minus 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Also looking on the rest of the city. I don't know if I want to address this or I even have the attention. What I will. I make let the people eat cake. Why not? Let them eat as much cake as they need to in order to survive. So These are the outskirts of the city, and so the additional. Okay, so this raises the alarm as there is now an issue in the food colony due to the storm. It's something I cannot necessarily do anything about, but as time goes along, I plan to resolve it eventually. It says the storm itself is posing a bit of a challenge to the generator. Um, what I will do or what I could do in helping them is I can't do anything about it either, based upon the fact that in certain ways it's cut off from the main city. But what I will do in order to fix this problem, oh, ooh, this is bad. This is bad. Can't talk about that right now. But eventually it will eventually resolve itself. Building another district to handle the extra amount of people that have moved into the city. And I think that should, if it doesn't fit the bill, I will add an additional um, area within the settlement to house these additional people. I'm seeing a deficit of at least 10. So a district can expand, but I have to look and see as what is next to the district and whether or not I even want to expand the district in that direction. I'm running out of space for people. I don't think this settlement can take any more people. Maybe I'm telling a lie, it can. So these outer areas determine that I can actually add more people in there. So that's my objective at some point. Now this area has actually run out of resources, and so I will remove it. Right. Going back to districts, I would love if they could make districts a bit larger. That would be very nice. But, well, you can't get what you want all the time. So if we go in now and we look at different areas, different aspects of the city, you can see that, yeah, the spotlight is still terrible and it will continue to be terrible because there are certain things that I want the game to extract or the city to extract, but it is what it is. This allows you to go to the city to see how it is doing. People are dying because of the frost. It's not something I can actually deal with or prevent, so I'm leaving it alone. We have a fuel colony over here, which will eventually start to experience some hunger issues due to what I would like to call the cutoff from the main city. But it will eventually be resolved as the next objective is to provide emergency supplies or areas where certain things are stocked that are actually essential to the survival of the city in these. So, for example, as you can see there, I'll put down some fuel depots to house fuel within the settlement. Scout training. That's a good idea. So check the research tree and see what suits your city best, and then apply the necessary changes in order to prevent your city from experiencing anything that could lead it to falling apart. The squalor is affecting this particular city, but I'm not going to address it immediately. As you can see, I've managed to keep all groups in order, although it's been very challenging. But this, in essence, prevents it from having any issues. Okay, I'm a bit tired, so I'll be back.